Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pixels to Politics podcast. This is episode 9, and we have quite the flurry of news for you. And Brayden will also be giving us a demonstration. And we have our legendary ad segment that we will now be doing every episode. Starting from from last episode. So let's begin.
Okay, first off, it's hardly an ad segment. Tostitos sauce is pretty much the only fucking sauce you can buy in any general supermarket like Publix. Right?
I agree.
All right, so this is for mainly the women. This is mainly for the women with the weak little fucking arms. All right, you can't open this fucking jar, right? You want the hot sauce, right? Habanero hot sauce by Tostitos. You want the habanero hot sauce by Tostitos, but you can't open the jar. All you're going to need is a butter knife, okay?
There you are, weak woman, no arms. You ain't got no man in your life. You probably voted for Kamala, and you want to open Tostitos so you can eat all your food, your feelings away naturally.
Correct.
Or your little twink boy, you also have no lover and no family.
A little bit too far. Let's slow down.
Sorry.
I don't know what's coming next, Doug, so that's where I have to put the brakes on the
Okay, my bad.
Anyways, all you're going to need is a butter knife. It has to be metal, and all you're going to do is you see the edges of this thing, right? I'm weak. I can't open it, right? All you're going to do, you're going to take it. I'll show you. You're going to do this. You're going to tap it a little bit. You're going to hit it until you get a dent. Like that. See there's a dent now?
Uh-huh.
You're going to do that along the edge in a circle.
Okay. For those who can't see, he is now bashing the knife around the lid.
And watch how easily this is going to come off.
Wow. And I
learned that trick a while ago.
And that's not one you previously opened?
Nope. It was brand new.
Tostitos ad.
So that's a useful trick.
Logitech G Pro mouse. Very good. Very good
mouse.
Very much worth its money.
Oh yeah.
Logitech 75%.
I think
Pro keyboard. Also very much worth its money.
Very true.
Very good keyboard, very good mouse. Logitech.
All right, Doug, what's on the agenda for us today?
Well, basically Europe. So last time we talked about international stuff, the U.S., specifically Trump and Vance, Marco Rubio. There's a big meeting between the U.S. and Ukraine, and they fought it out, right? So then Zelensky goes home. President of Ukraine goes home. He says that they want to make a deal. Trump really pushes for a ceasefire, says bring everyone to the table. Well, that's all over. Europe had a bunch of meetings. They said, yeah, we don't want a deal. We'll actually fund the shit out of the war. Giving any pieces of Ukraine to Russia is a terrible idea. And so basically everything we say next, well, for a little bit, is going to be a fallout from that. All right? So meeting timeline-wise, they had the meeting, specifically the English and the French, their prime ministers and president.
Yeah.
They met. The first thing that happened was Steimer, who is the Prime Minister of the UK, real soy boy looking guy.
Yeah.
He said that they were willing to put soldiers on the ground. Shortly after, France said that they were too, and that they wanted to bring the rest of Europe underneath their nuclear umbrella. So, for those who don't know, Europe has nukes, but really it's just on loan from the US. The U.S. controls them and gives them and, decides. So France is one of the only European countries that actually has their own nukes. They, over the years, have made sure to control their own independence and put policies in place to do that. I kind of mocked them for it, but if I'm being entirely honest, good for them. I respect that shit, bro. They want self-autonomy. They develop their own nukes. They refuse certain protocols in NATO. Hey, good for you guys. And they are really kind of stepping forward as potential leaders in Europe. But to be honest, all across Europe right now, they are just coming out in support of continuing the war Now, I'm not going to tell you if that's a good or bad thing, right? Some of you might think that's good because, we shouldn't let Putin take land, which, to be honest, I'm pretty pro war here. Mostly, I don't even think Trump really disagrees. He just wanted Europe to do this, is what they're doing now. Provide more support. That's pretty much what Americans mostly wanted, was for Europe to join, really put their best foot forward. There's no reason that Europe should be giving Russia more money than it is Ukraine in general. It doesn't make any sense. But they sit there and they buy Russian oil and gas, and at the same time, they're like, we got to defeat Russia. It's mind-blowing. Okay, the news, you want to give your thoughts? Because honestly, we still have way more about Europe kind of pushing this war forward and just huge escalations across the board.
I think Putin ain't gonna do jack shit. He's not gonna do jack shit anymore. He's gonna back the fuck off. Trump's gonna talk to him and be like, listen. I know you like Ukraine, but we're going to be taking the minerals from them one way or the other.
Right? True.
And listen, and we'll pay you to get your troops to back off. We'll give you some resources. We'll give you a piece of Ukraine's land after they've self-destructed. And I think that's what's more likely going to happen. And then the EU is just going to be like, and they're just not really going to do anything. They're going to be like, listen, guys, we should do something about this. But first, tea break. Everyone get your tea out. Yes, good. The delicate porcelain mugs. Yes, good. A good cup of tea. Yes, is exactly what this evening needed. Yes, quite. What should we do? We need another cup of tea to think it over.
I actually agree with you on the first part. I think Putin will actually back off. And we've already seen signs of it, so kind of. Again, it's a bit of a flurry of events going on, and we're starting from the beginning. So,
yeah.
You had that meeting. They've had several meetings since then, and it was a big deal because Zelensky was on the board of having these peace talks, and on the board was we'll give up land, right? That was the big concession piece for Ukraine, and that they really didn't want to do. Trump was really pushing for that, and then mitigating the peace. And honestly, I'll say this: I respect Europe for stepping up, being like, you know what, we aren't going to let Russia take the land. We are going to fight. So here's some quick events that happened. This is what just happened today. Poland. Is it Poland? Yes.
Poland?
All Polish men must go into training. They're going to start rolling that out soon. Norway is planning on Norway has this thing called the Sovereign Fund. Most countries have what's called the Sovereign Fund. And what that is, it's a pooling of money, like a piggy bank that is often made from selling domestic energy resources, so oil and gas, right? Norway is actually known for selling a lot of natural gas to the rest of Europe. They had to stop because of a whole ass city was sinking because of it, and then they had to turn it back on because Europe was relying on Russia. Blah 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 blah. Anyways, these countries who sell their own natural resources, which is different from what the U.S. does, we lease the land and then we take some profit off the top, but other countries sell it directly themselves, and then they actually pull that money together in a bank, and they call it a sovereign fund, and they use it for emergencies. Norway has a big one. It's, I don't know, is it big? 1.7 trillion. Is that big? That's kind of big, right? Yeah. I guess.
We spent more than that on 9/11.
That's what I was just kind of thinking. Maybe it's big for them, right? In
yeah, it's probably big for them.
So they have a sovereign wealth fund of 1.7 trillion, and they are planning on spending some of that on Ukraine. Across the board, each of the European countries have increased. Most of them have doubled their support for Ukraine. So, 3 to 5 billion a piece is now, 10, 15. Excuse me. So yeah, there's a good chance. Sorry, go ahead.
Another thing that needs to be stated here. It's pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
These countries that are so eager to give a bunch of money to Ukraine, they also want to. Well, they don't really care. It's good optics, right? For one, to give money to the underdog, quote unquote, right?
Mm-hmm.
But another thing that isn't really discussed is how much of the money that gets sent over is actually sent over in full.
No, most of it is sent to the U.S.
Most of
it comes right back to us.
But they also take a bit for themselves. Like,
of course,
this money over, so we also get a little cut, right?
Oh yeah.
So these politicians are essentially saying, I'm trying to give myself money and look good, and you guys are getting in the way of that when you say stop sending money to Ukraine.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. There's kickback. A lot of it goes to. So for the U.S. is really easy to point out. A lot of that money that gets announced goes into buying weapons. Well, who sells weapons? America. America sells weapons to everybody. That's what we're known for. It's like 25% of our GDP is made up of selling weapons. Where we sell weapons to Europe, obviously, Asia, and fucking the Middle East. That's what we do. We be selling weapons. So a lot of that money that we announce for them that goes in military aid is actually just, given to our military contractors to then produce the weapons and so on and so forth. But yes, that's how it works across the board. So when Germany announces that they're giving money, really it just goes to domestic product, which honestly, I don't know, I think that's kind of fine. It's not like you give billions of dollars to Ukraine and they don't have a domestic weapons manufacturing. What are they going to do with it? You know what I mean? Like, naturally, it has to come back in some way. So, yes, so there is a lot of kickback.
Yeah. But also, another ad complaint. Reese's. I went to go take a bite for Reese's today. Or actually, not today, the other day. And you put 2 of these little plastic pieces of shit on it. Put 2 of them on.
That's their skirts.
So when I took the skirt. You put just 2 of these skirts on. So I took it off thinking, I can probably eat it now. And then I bite into it and it tastes fucking plastic. You're wasting product. This is money right here. They may only cost like half a cent to fucking make. But you put 2
I bet it's less.
Listen, I don't know what you're doing over there at the factory, over wherever you guys are. Stop putting 2 skirts on it. You're pissing me off and you're wasting money at the same time. I don't know if you get a tax write-off for this shit or not, but I don't give a fuck. Stop it. It's pissing me off. I just want to eat my cancer-causing materials in peace, goddammit.
Also, today's episode is brought to you by Fiber One Chewy Bar.
Okay, this is too many ads.
Make sure you get your fiber in. I think you need like 20 to 24 grams of fiber a day. It's very good for you, and these are tasty. I like them. One a day is usually good. Make sure you get your fiber in. Yeah. Can never have enough ads. Have you seen Twitch lately? Can't even watch Twitch, dude. I know, dude, it's so miserable.
That's why you have to become the ad. You have to incorporate the ad into your soul.
But the good news is here, people were worried about Trump, being very pro-Putin or whatever. Trump's kind of played both sides, I think, really well. He's just like, whoever gives us the bigger deal, better deal, wins. And now that he's seeing, Europe kind of stand up for themselves, which is what he fucking wanted in the first place. They also announced $800 billion, what they're calling a rearm deal, which, that's $800 billion is a lot. The U.S. spends $1.2 trillion, I think, a year in defense. Yeah. So them finally, they're really putting the pedal to the metal when it comes to the money, which is good. Good for them. There's a lot of talks about putting troops in Ukraine too, like, avidly. No longer talks. They're very clearly moving forward with some of this stuff. So good for them. I respect them for finally fucking, standing up. It sucks that it takes Trump to say that, we're going to pull out and that if you guys aren't going to do it, I'm going to do it for you. But, hey, good for you guys fucking figuring it out. Too bad about the UK and Germany, though.
UK and Germany.
Germany keeps suffering from, I don't know if you call them terrorist attacks at this point, but basically there's either some mass stabbings or there's some illegal hopping in a car and ramming through a crowd, like, every day.
First off, Doug, you've already offended the audience, and you didn't even realize it.
Did I? What did I say?
It's not called the UK and Germany anymore, okay?
What
it's called Germanistan and United Kosten.
Gotcha. My fault. I apologize.
We have to... Listen, there's a lot of Muslim people in those countries. We have to be nice
to them. There are now.
Listen, I understand people miss the old Germany, right? I know I do too. Not the old Germany, just the old Germany.
Yeah, of course.
Just have to clarify that.
Yeah.
Then, obviously, it's more of a Muslim country now, so you have to be like sympathetic to their needs, right? They need
What do they need?
I have no clue what the fuck they need. Listen, they have stuff now, and stuff is happening, and things are happening, and yeah, it's no longer a tourist destination. Sorry.
No.
Granted, if you were going to Germany to begin with, you were either one of two people. You were either the guy looking to get bratwurst, or you're the guy looking to get shit on.
Oh man. We also Italy, interestingly enough, banned same-sex couples. You heard about this? They banned same-sex couples from adopting children or having surrogate children.
I think lesbian couples should not be allowed to have kids, but gay couples, like gay men, should be allowed to have kids.
Explain your logic.
Anytime I've seen, and for context, I watch a lot of those like crime documentary stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that there is a homosexual or like LGBTQ couple that abuses a child, it's always a lesbian couple. Always. Like, I never hear the story about the two gay guys that were molesting their son that they adopted. It's always the lesbians.
Okay, so I have to flip on you because I always hear it's the gay guys doing
It's the gay guys when they're not a couple. When gay guys are alone, I can absolutely understand that. But when they're a couple, I think it's a totally different dynamic.
Either way, I disagree with the ban, but just throw that out there.
I don't care about the ban.
Of course not. Oh my god.
I just want to give my two Ebenezer Scrooge cents.
Yeah. Alright, so the European war thing should get interesting, but I do think you're right. I think Putin will back down.
I thought you were talking about lesbian thing for a second. I was like,
no. Just throwing that random Italy fact out there. I don't know. I saw that and I was like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, did you hear what they said the cause of death was for Gene Hackman?
Oh my! I did just see that. What the fuck?
Yeah, guys, listen. The investigation, it took like about a week and a half, and here's the results. Gene Hackman had a heart disease.
So he had heart disease and Alzheimer's. Keep going.
And his wife, she died from hantavirus.
What is hantavirus?
That's a great question. We just made it up over at the coroner's office a few minutes ago, too. We don't even know ourselves. But it's a new strain of some sort of COVID variant or some shit. I don't know. LOL. Anyways, listen, that's pretty much it. The dog? Oh, yeah, we're not going to touch on why the dog died, but it died, yeah. We're also not going to talk about the fact that Gene Hackman died in the hallway and his wife died right next to him pretty much, and they're both just dead, and neither of them called 911 apparently. So they apparently just died at the exact same time with essentially with within a 1 minute window because needed at least a minute to call 911, right?
They apparently he died a week later than she did. And because of his Alzheimer's, he didn't know she had died. So she was in the bathroom and he was found in the hallway, I think closest to the front door, that was also open. And the dog, I haven't seen proof of this, I just saw comments, was left in the cage and starved to death. Or maybe dehydrated. That's what they said. I'm just telling you that's what they said. I'm not going to say whether or not I believe it. But
oh god, I forgot my name. Oh god, there's a dead woman in the bathroom. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Oh, what's the number for 911 again?
I'll say this.
Wait, what do I feed it? I feed a dog again? What do they need? Water?
I've seen people with some late stage, dementia and Alzheimer's. It definitely can get to that degree, right? I don't know how bad it was for Gene Hackman. However, I will say, dude, what a fucking wild ride that would be if it's true. His wife dies of some virus in the back. Huh? What? Let's look this up. What is the virus? What did you say it was?
Hantavirus.
Hantavirus.
Yeah. Take a look.
The rare disease that killed his wife.
The white light is blinding me. Doug, quick, read it.
God. Okay, so symptoms.
I can't.
Fatigue.
I got 4 dark pages, Doug. I'm sorry. What's that? This is insanity. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? There we go. All
right, we've got fatigue, fever. These are early symptoms. Muscle aches. About half of all HPS patients experience headaches, dizziness, chills, abdominal problems. 4 to 10 days, the initial phase of illness. Late symptoms appear, can be deadly. 38% of people who develop respiratory symptoms may die from the disease. Chest or lung fills with fluid. But, like, bro, I don't. What?
You know what's crazy to me is how did he die from heart disease and not from hantavirus? If it was enough to kill a 65-year-old woman, but it's not enough to kill a 95-year-old man, you're telling me he didn't? Like what?
I don't know. It's a little weird. To me, it's almost too weird to not be true. If that makes sense.
No, I'm sorry, Doug. I'm afraid it's just weird. It doesn't make any sense.
Low blood pressure, lack of blood flow, internal bleeding.
Not only that, Doug. Not only that, we're forgetting something. When they arrived on scene, the front door was already open.
Well, he had Alzheimer's, right? You can use that as an excuse for anything.
It doesn't matter, Doug. You don't forget to leave the front door open as a 95-year-old man living in a fucking giant house. I'm sorry.
I think you do. I think that's...
No, you don't. You forget people's names. You forget where you're supposed to go for work.
No, you don't only forget those things.
You forget the name of your dog. You forget the name of your wife.
That's not true. Don't slander the disease.
Who you love and who you hate.
Look, I'm all for a good conspiracy theory that's probably true, but again, you're doing the thing where you start fucking... giving evidence for why you're wrong. No, it doesn't make any sense. Dude, you forget things with Alzheimer's beyond...
How long was the front door open for?
I don't know!
Exactly.
I have no idea.
You don't know.
You're not even pointing at the right thing. How does this woman die of some disease that fills her lungs with fluid without calling 911? Or going to a doctor? So that part you find believable, but the guy with Alzheimer's forgetting to leave the door or closing the door, that part to you,
correct.
That's crazy. That's absurd.
Would never forget to leave the front door open.
Okay, I cannot fathom the brain cell path going on in your brain to this part. I'm so confused.
Doug, listen, I've forgotten one person's name in my entire life.
You're not 95 with Alzheimer's.
Listen, Doug, if I was 95, let me tell you this: I wouldn't be leaving the front door open. That's a huge L. That's a huge L.
Dude, I'm gonna come find you when you're old and prank you by leaving your door open and pretending it's you. I'm gonna gaslight you. It's gonna be so fucking funny.
It wouldn't, dude. Someone would die, Doug. If I saw my front door open and I was 95, someone would be dying. I'd be grabbing the shoddy.
Yeah, your wife would from hantavirus in the bathroom.
I would be like, is my wife an imposter? Did she leave the door open? I gotta kill her now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost too wild to be faked, in my opinion. I feel like if you're gonna make a dude vanish, it's a lot easier than that. But, jeez.
No, I mean, that was pretty easy. They just fucking strangled him to death.
I guess.
Strangulation marks can disappear with rigor mortis. I mean, you could strangle, you could do heart attack gun. There's like a billion different things. Only question is, once again, why did the dog die?
Again, apparently left in the crate to starve. Starved to death in a crate. I don't know if it wasn't left there, but you know.
So, long enough for a dog to starve in a crate. How long can a dog go without water?
I assume a week. That's like the on average, right, for mammals.
So you can assume that front door may have been left open for a week.
Why are you so set on the front door?
The front door is crucial, Doug.
No, it's not. It's really not crucial to anything.
It is. See, Doug, genius is one step above insanity. You have to be thinking like an insane person, and you're not. You're thinking like a normal person, and it's weird.
I'm thinking like someone who waits for facts to fall from the tree.
Doug, yeah, exactly. You're a follower, a sheeple, a sheeple waiting to lick from the fountain of facts, sticking out your tongue for the fact fountain.
Why is the door so important to you?
The door is important, Doug. Listen. Okay. That's it. We're opening up paint. Where's Google? Paint. That is not paint. Pants. No, not pants.
What are
paint.
you doing?
Hold on. All right. Yeah, that's fine. All right. This is the house.
Yeah.
Okay. This is house. H for house.
Yeah.
All right. This is the door. Doug, are you ready? I'm gonna.
Okay.
I don't know how contractors do it. This door, once again, this is in front of like a sidewalk, right? So there's like a little sidewalk here.
Presumably, I mean, it's Gene Hackman. I assume he had a pretty big house, right? But yes.
Big house, right? But so this, let's assume this was left open for. Ooh, I actually have really pretty handwriting when I do it like that. Oh my god, I'm actually so good at that. I should become Osu. Oh my god, I'm good at Osu. All right. Hey, I'm sorry, Doug. I'm getting distracted. Listen, the door, it's been left open for a week, right?
We don't know that it was left open for a week.
Okay, Doug, you're trying to use facts. Once again, Gene Hackman is dead. This is a skull. I guess I gave it two realistic eyes. Yeah, like that. That's Gene Hackman. He's dead. All right. Here's his dead dog. Little tail. All right. This door has been left open for roughly a week. We can assume, right? Because the dog that starved, the dog would have been bitching at him like, "Hey, listen, you need to feed me, you little punk. I'm in a fucking crate." You think it would have been like, "Oh."
What does it have to do with the door being left open?
Because the dog has been. We can assume the dog was left in that crate for a week, which means we can assume that this guy died probably around the same time because this dog would have been barking otherwise, telling him, "Hey, I need food," and he probably would have given him fucking food, correct? But it didn't happen because the dog starved.
Unless he never took care of the dog. Unless the wife was doing all the work in the house because her husband had fucking Alzheimer's.
My grandfather is 95.
Okay.
He's the same age as Gene Hackman. He takes care of the fucking dogs every fucking day.
Does he have Alzheimer's?
No.
What the fuck? What the hell is wrong with you?
But if he had Alzheimer's, he would still take care of the fucking dogs because the dogs would be barking.
How do you know? How do you know the house isn't so big that the dog barking would be? How do you? Would even be heard?
It would be heard. It would be heard. You would hear it. Listen. Anyways, you can assume this door was probably left open for a good fucking week.
Why?
We have people walking on the sidewalk.
Again, it's probably a big house where the roadway to the actual door is far enough from the sidewalk.
I guarantee you, his neighbor is probably a famous person too.
Who probably doesn't even stay in the house next door because he's
people
famous.
Would see it. People would see the open door and be like, "Huh, Gene Hackman's door was open yesterday.
What?
And it's open today on my daily walk because I'm an old person and I need to go outside for walks. Why has his door been open that long?"
Have you never seen a rich person's house?
No one called 911 about a potential welfare check on him.
Oh my god, stop. For your smoking crack. Your entire presumption is that Gene Hackman lives in a fucking 25-foot by 25-foot house that is connected directly to a sidewalk in a town.
Let's look at Gene Hackman's house. Let's look at Gene Hackman's house. Show me an image of Gene Hackman's house.
I don't know what his house looks like. Is that really his house, though? Because, that kind of just proves my point.
No, it doesn't, Doug. Hold on for a second.
Yeah, it does. If that's his house, yeah. It's out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of fucking forest. It's 2 stories at least. The dog could be all the way across the damn house. The door is 80 feet away from any road.
All right, hold on.
Okay, just admit that you're fucking shit. Look at his house! Look at his land! Bro, his house is on a cliff!
Why didn't the neighborhood dogs try to help him? Why didn't the neighborhood dogs try to help him?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Inside the house.
Look at his house! Bro, what the hell? Dude, this guy bro. He lives in a compound. This guy's actually a drug runner for the cartels.
No, I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, I mean, all right. So that okay, fine. That theory is kind of tossed to the side. All right, that theory is tossed to the side. Right?
Really, you think?
Okay.
Why do you work so hard to justify your conspiracy when you could just be like,
Doug, I was proven wrong. I said I'm wrong. Okay, about this part at least, right? Yes.
Okay.
But once again, this is still sus, right?
I agree.
The more likely, very well, the more likely scenario is the coroner was blackmailed.
Okay. Into what?
To not saying shit.
Why? Epstein?
Yeah.
Okay.
More likely said, hey, and they don't start off with blackmail. They start out with, hey, if you happen to find viruses on the body, or the bodies, you'll be a very endowed man this year.
Endowed? They made it bigger?
Yeah. Doug, listen, not everything has to be sexual, okay? There can be normal things in this world for once without sex involved, okay? No, they give him money.
This guy dies mysteriously in his home, and we immediately think it's because of Epstein's Island.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Remember, okay, hold on. Hold on.
Just saying.
Do you remember, okay, back in, no, what the fuck am I doing? I'm fucking retarded.
What are you doing?
2016. You remember 2016?
Yes, it's my junior year of high school. Or sophomore.
They released information. It was actually later than that.
Actually, wait, am I dumb? Yeah, sorry. That's 2 years after I
graduated.
graduated.
I graduated in
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting old.
Epstein's Island becomes international news.
Okay.
This is in 2016. I knew about Epstein's Island in 2013.
Okay.
There were articles in 2012 and 2013 referring to people that coagulated this on the internet as, let's quote, conspiracy theorists. This was in 2013. And when it came out 3 years later on, legacy media, hey, turns out Epstein did have an island. He was flying kids there. He was also flying celebrities there, actors, Prince Andrew, etc., etc., right? These people were vindicated. They were called crazy. They were called retarded. They were called autistic. And those people ended up making the people that called them crazy, retarded, and autistic look like crazy, retarded, and autistic people.
Well, just because...
So once again, Doug, the conspiracy theorists...
They might still be crazy, retarded, autistics.
They can't. Maybe.
They
were right.
They can be both.
That's all
that's all I'm saying. Is they can be both.
These people that the legacy media shit on, when Epstein's Island was a thing, these people were right. And there's nothing better than being vindicated.
Look, I also yes. I think most of them are pedos. However, what a lot of people forget is that, again, that guy's biggest selling point was tax evasion.
Yeah. He still had fucking kids on the island.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure. I'm not skirting that. I'm just saying...
Alright, so, and then let's go to another topic really quick. So, we had that happen. Obviously we have other conspiracies that we could talk about that turned out to be true and yada, 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 but essentially, and this is recently, you've been seeing the media, good old legacy media, talking about, see if you can play a game of charades here.
The airplane crashes, or what are you talking about?
Airplane crashes. So
just also hold on that. I also looked up that we were having more or less plane crashes this time of year than last year, and it's less. It's the same amount or less.
Exactly. You're catching on quick, Doug. The ATCs have been fired, or is the general tone. That's the reason for these, or one of the reasons for these crashes, right?
It's untrue.
The ATCs have been fired. Who fired them?
Trump. He
Trump
did not.
fired them.
This is all a lie. They've actually been
Correct.
hiring more.
Correct. They've been hiring more. So the number of plane crashes has remained the same. Number 2024?
I think it's less,
Is
but
equal?
yes, at minimum it's the same. Or at
Number
maximum
of
it's the same. Excuse me.
is equal to the number in 2025. So the number hasn't changed. People, legacy media is saying ATCs are being fired. The FAA is getting, fucking
Gutted.
blacklisted.
Yeah.
Essentially gutted. And the legacy media is pointing out about all these plane crashes when in reality the number hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So they're trying to say Trump bad. So once again, the legacy media is spinning something that's completely false. It's almost like it's a rerun of 2013, where they were calling the Epstein Island people conspiracy theorists. So you can pretty much assume anytime that that the legacy media posts something online or in the news about anything, always assume the opposite. Because the opposite is almost always true. Almost always. So if they're saying ATCs are being fired, replace the word fired with hired. If they're saying the FAA is getting blacklisted, and in reality, the FAA is getting whitelisted. If they're saying it's Trump's fault, in reality, it's no one's fault.
No, it's DEI's fault. But yeah.
Oh,
It's always DEI's fault.
sure. Partially DAI, partially. So I'll give them like a.
I think like 75% looks like a DEI to me, but yeah.
Whatever. All right. Anyways, that's the general gist of it. So if we go right now over to Google, we decide to type in, we'll just type in CNN and see what comes up. Let's see what's on the news. CNN anchor. I don't care about CNN anchors doing anything.
Scott Jennings. Oh, they're gonna give Scott Jennings a pay raise. That's awesome.
I don't know who that is.
He's the only right wing person on CNN, and he just sits there and he argues with a panel of fucking morons. It's so funny.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm actually looking for like an article by CNN, and I can't seem to find one.
Well, Google doesn't operate like this. Just click news.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Why is it on the second page?
I don't know. Oh yes. So we were going to talk about more sanctions, but if you wanted to not, if you're looking for something else, then we won't.
We can talk about sanctions.
All right. So we had the tariff war start. What was that, last episode or the episode before, between the U.S. and Canada?
Yeah.
Well, Mexico didn't declare a retaliatory amount in tariffs. Apparently, she and Trump had a phone call. Trump's been surprisingly respectful of her.
Am I losing my mind?
What?
I thought I saw something like move. And
well, that's what you get for talking about Epstein Island and the Jews.
I'm
It's behind you in spirit.
Thank God.
So Mexico is kind of like back down, and them and Trump, they're working things out. However, Trump is really dead set on getting Canada to give up and become a state. So the tariff war between the U.S. and Canada kicked off. Just for reference, Canada's exports to the U.S. makes up like 1.5% of our GDP or something. It's like, it's fuck all, it's nothing. And then we make up like 20 to 30% of theirs. So it's not even close, and most likely they're going to feel a lot of pain from this. But I got some breaking news just before we started this episode. I'll wait until I say it. So we have two things that happened today. One, Trump said that he was talking to Trudeau about the border between the U.S. and Canada, and maybe he it doesn't look right to him. He thinks it should be a little more. We should be getting a little further up. Move it up, not down. Yeah. Basically, give us some land, bitch.
Yeah.
Shortly after he said that, I don't know why China did this, but China announced a 100% tariff on Canada. Dude, This happened randomly right before we started the episode. They just announced 100% tariff on Canada for fun. I don't know what happened or why, but yeah.
Dude, I can imagine Xi Jinping sitting there with his fucking hands like this, and his fucking secretary comes in like, "Sir, they've put a 25% tariff on Canada. What do you want to do?" "Give me a few days." The secretary returns, "Sir, have you made a decision? What are we gonna do? Maybe we'll put tariffs on the United States since they take up a lot of our exports as well."
They did actually tariff us back, but yes, keep going.
Yeah. Well, okay. What else would you want to do, sir? 100% tariff on Canada.
That's a really big deal. Canada's two biggest destinations for its exports is the U.S. and it's Canada.
I 100% dude. 100%. Trump called up.
Oh yes, like, yes, dude, yes.
Listen, we're doing a little trade war going on here. If you give us your assistance, maybe you become one of more. Maybe there's a deal in it for you. Maybe we'll allow you to put a certain tariff on us, and we'll take it for a year or two. And you might get a little profit out of it. How does that sound? And Xi Jinping was like, "What do I have to do?" He's like, 100% tariff on Canada.
Yeah, I think it went something similar. I think they made a deal for sure behind the scenes because 100%. These two events took place within hours of each other. So, and Trump's pretty vocal about like, oh yeah, he said this quite a few times. He's like, yeah, I was talking to Putin all day long. We've got a secret deal going on. It's the same thing about Xi Jinping. He says that shit all the time. So no doubt he called up Canada and was like, look, we don't have to have a tariff war. But I'll take the tariffs off you, you take the tariffs off us, and in exchange, you just put a tariff on Canada and we'll fuck them. It'll be fun. And China just is like, yeah, sure, hey, fuck it.
I bet he's calling up Russia right now being like, listen, we'll let you have a little bit of Ukraine. In return, you're going to need to put 100% tariff on Canada.
Dude, it's so many. So the tariff, I mean, it could be even more than that. So that we have tariffs on the EU, those started last week, I think, at the start, around the same time. We have tariffs on China and Canada. The Mexico ones are paused or something.
Yeah.
And Trump's like been kind of back and forth on Russia. Like at first he said, hey, if you play nice, we'll ease up on the sanctions. And then Europe came out and announced all those things about fighting. And then Trump was like, you know what? Fuck Russia. Yeah. We'll actually put more sanctions. There's actually a big attack from Russia on Ukraine, and then Trump, he'll use it as an excuse to do whatever the fuck he wants. He's like, you know what? I changed my mind. We're gonna put more sanctions on Russia. So
I don't know why he doesn't just use Ukraine as the ultimate bargaining chip. Like literally be like, listen, this is gonna be an all-out war between us if we go through with this, right? If we decide that Ukraine is the hill we die on, right? Or you can put a 200% tariff on Canada and we'll give you Ukraine for free.
I don't know how many exports from Canada go to Russia, but
after the tariff, zero.
It's true. But yeah, that shit's so fucking funny. Poor Canada. I kind of feel bad for Canada right now. I feel a little bad.
Canada is the teacher's pet of the world, right?
Kind of agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
The 100% of the teacher's pet. Like, Miss Hennessy, I think you forgot to mention that the homework is due today. You didn't mention it, and the class is about to end, and now everyone has to have their homework ready, and some people don't have it, right? I guarantee you that's what Canada is kind of like. And then it's like, oh, Canada walks outside, he's like, I'm going to tell the teachers, and they're just like, no, you're not. You're not making it out of here conscious.
Dude, they've got to be like 75% of their exports are getting tariffed, right? Yeah. Like it's got to be so bad. Or imports.
Dude, imagine how pissed off the Canadian people must be. They have
That's what I was thinking.
Who isn't
not even supposed to be there. Yeah,
he's declared a state of emergency. That's the only reason why he's still there, right?
Yeah,
Then it's like, oh, not only that, now he's antagonized the leader of the first world, and then the leader of the other first world.
To be fair,
both are putting up 100%.
They're just getting gangbanged for no reason. Poor bastards. Yeah. Oh my god.
The Canada wants to be like, yeah, fuck you. We took your bullet bourbon off the shelves.
Yeah.
And we're just like, how's the gas thing coming along?
I know, right? Like, dude, they're just so fucked. Most of their exports are in oil, and the U.S. cut them off. I mean, and then they cut us off, right? So it was like double tariffed.
Yeah.
And then China just came out of nowhere. The biggest exports to China was also their oil, and they just fucking cucked them randomly. Yeah, that was fucking funny. I'm sorry, Canadian, the usual population, the citizens, but damn, man. Whoo! That shit was fucking...
What are you doing? What's happening in Canada? Oh, God. How Trump's 51st state Canada talk came to be seen as deadly serious. New tariff, blah, blah, blah. 250% tax on dairy.
Well, they have that tax on us.
Them. Yeah, he's milking them. He's milking them. This is great. China imposes retaliatory tax.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God! Canada boosts security in Buffalo area. Oh my God! Boosting security at the border for nothing. Canada announces major haul on PR for construction workers. Study without permits or the key outfits. Canada, yeah. Backlash in Canada over U.S. tariffs. Yeah, I don't think anyone cares.
I doubt anyone will notice.
Yeah.
First of all,
not until the products.
Okay, just for perspective, Texas is a bigger economy than Canada.
Yeah.
Just real quick and easy. Just that in itself. Canada didn't even announce like full retaliatory tariffs across the board. They did like only the red states. So
see, Trump needs to think bigger. He needs to think bigger. He's not thinking bigly enough. He's not a bigly thinker right now. He should be sending all of these illegal immigrants to Canada.
that is kind of 200 IQ, actually.
Yeah, make it their problem.
That's actually Belarus's technique to fight Poland. Although Poland is not, they don't give a fuck. They literally will shoot them as they try to come over the border.
They
shoot them outside.
They kill on site. They don't fuck around. They're literally just like, this is a Polish country for Polish people. No foreigners allowed.
I respect Poland. Poland actually came out during the spat between Europe and the U.S. and was like, look, Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk is his name.
Yeah.
Just I don't know why I find that name so funny, but he came out really early on and he was like, the U.S. is right. Like all Trump is asking, there are clearly some people who understand what the fuck Trump is saying because he exaggerates, right? He's very hyperbolic when when he wants something. Yeah, that's
Elon Tusk.
Donald Tusk. Poland, that's his fucking name. He's a really smart and well-spoken dude. I'll say that much.
I think this is a stupid thing. This is so fucking stupid.
Why?
What are the dumbest things you could say? So it says here to require all adult men to take military training and consider nuclear weapons as Trump shifts on Russia.
Mm-hmm.
If you are going to increase your military reserves in terms of people, and you are going to start considering nuclear options, why the fuck would you announce it to the whole fucking world? I'm sorry, that's the stupidest fucking thing ever. Like, hey, Russia, we're developing nukes just like you. Come over here and fuck us in the ass.
Well, okay, yes and no. So again,
do you remember what happened when there was just a rumor that Iraq might have a nuke? We went in there and we killed children.
Technically, Europe already has nukes. So announcing it isn't really that big of a deal.
I think it is. I think Putin's like, what the fuck do you mean you're building a nuke? What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Poland already is under the protection of our nukes, so it's not that crazy.
So it's our nukes. They want their own nukes. So
yes.
Okay, you haven't seen it.
I think the bigger takeaway from this is the fact that every country is now realizing that...
2 minutes. 2 minutes, we're watching this.
Alright.
Are you ready to take your Nerf combat to the next level? Hey, am I? Get ready for the newest in Nerf warfare, the Nerf Nuke. Whoa! Simply punch in the command code to activate the Nerf Nuke's plutonium reactor. Enter your keys into the arm launch module, and then it's up to you to make the ultimate decision. Hey guys, my mom just got me the Nerf Nuke.
we gonna do? He's got a Nerf nuke.
Well, we could pool our allowances together and get 2 Nerf nukes.
Why'd you call this meeting today? Was it to give me all your lunch monies?
We have recently acquired 2 Nerf nukes.
What? Mom, I need money for Nerf nukes.
I just bought you one.
Well, can I have my next 7 months allowance up front?
No, then you won't have any money for the rest of the year.
Mom, this is serious. All right, let's make an agreement that none of us will get any more Nerf nukes.
Agreed.
I'm getting one. I'm getting a Nerf nuke also.
That kid can definitely not get a Nerf.
I already have one actually. My mom got me one. It's in my basement.
I don't believe him. He's too poor.
Yeah, but what if he gets like a crappy one from somebody or something?
Just the fact that he's looking for one is bad news.
Oh my god.
Help him now all we can.
But he hasn't done anything to us yet. Isn't that messed up? He's like poor.
The Nerf
That's pretty fucking funny. So
that's
a really
happened in Poland.
that's a really good example of what's been going on in the world for past like 30, 40 years. But yeah, I don't think this completely extends to Poland just because again they've maybe it is a big deal. Maybe it is, but I don't know.
I think this is a huge L on their part. This is the stupidest thing you can fucking say.
Maybe.
Because once again, we invaded. We killed hundreds of thousands of people over the rumor of weapons of mass destruction. There was no evidence of any of this shit. They were just like, listen, we think they caused 9/11, so we're... And someone said they had, like, the weapons and some shit like the nukes. We're just gonna go ahead and start killing these civilians. It has to happen. I mean, it's a given. They have oil. Let's go.
Yeah, again, maybe you're right, actually. I don't know.
Did Poland learn nothing from World War II? They learned nothing.
Well, the problem is currently now that the lesson that's being played out before us is the fact that if you don't have a nuke, there's a chance you can just get invaded, and then the country with a nuke can just say and do whatever it wants. Like that's really what the overall.
Then just say you have a nuke. What are they going to do? How are they going to disprove you?
You're risking the bluff. I don't know if it's worth it.
What do you mean you're risking the bluff?
You're risking the
not.
bluff. Yeah, you are. What if someone calls your
Like,
bluff?
Listen. Okay.
What do you want to know what a good example is? Is probably fucking the countries we invaded. Who?
Okay.
They started the rumor that they had a nuke. Like,
and look what happened. They got fucking invaded because not only did they not have it, they didn't have the firepower to back it up. Poland. This is Poland, right? Let's say Russia is over here. Russia can be a square because Slavs are kind of squarey. And then, they send over their little guys like, hey, yippee. Hey, listen, we have some guys stationed around your border. We're going to, like, invade. And all Poland has to do is say, I have a nuke. All of a sudden, the situation has changed, right? Russia has to take the 50-50 chance, not only with whether or not they have a nuke, but whether or not the United States, and the United States can be this thing, whether the United States decides to reinforce Poland and get involved with their nukes. So by Poland saying they have a nuke, when something like this happens, this is a high IQ move. Because now Russia's forced into a position where they're more than likely going to have to retreat. And they're going to have to cut off one of their testicles. That's what's going to have to happen.
I mean, you're basically explaining NATO, but yes, keep going.
Yeah. So essentially, Poland saying something along the lines of, we're building nukes, this confirms they don't have a nuke. So they're essentially saying,
well, yeah.
You could.
There was a treaty after the Cuban Missile Crisis that pretty much made it so that the countries closest to Russia and NATO don't have nukes on their land. U.S. nukes, because it was a treaty between the U.S. and Russia, right? Yeah. So, again, I understand what you're saying. I think there's some merit to it. However, the overall lesson that you're missing out on the part where Ukraine used to have nukes after the fall of... So draw, we'll keep it up with your artistic vision. Draw Ukraine. Okay, what the fuck are you doing? What are you drawing? Why are you drawing a person?
This is Ukraine.
Okay, well, Ukraine, after the fall of the Soviet Union, used to have nukes.
Okay.
Okay, and Russia and the U.S. got together and were like, "This isn't good." Obviously, it wasn't just Ukraine. We need to make sure that we need to they can't have nukes, right? So we went and bargained with them. We said, "Hey, give up your nukes, and we will sign a memorandum." I think it's called a memorandum,
Yeah.
in which we will both recognize your sovereign territory. Because that's what the nukes are mainly for, right? It's about making sure no one invades your territory, takes your territory. So in exchange for Ukraine giving up their nukes, Russia and the U.S. signed a deal saying we would recognize your territory. Obviously, Russia broke this deal. And so now the overall lesson that a lot of countries are taking from it is that U.S. and Russia cannot be trusted, and at the very least, in controlling the world and actually keeping peace. And a lot of them are vying for independence and individual safety and sovereignty, and they see that through the use of nukes. China threatens nuclear warfare. Russia threatens nuclear warfare. China does it a lot more subtly, but China is building tons and tons of tactical nuclear bombs like all the time now. And obviously Russia, Putin's been threatening the shit out of it. So a lot of countries are seeing this and they're like, okay, U.S. isn't going to protect us. Russia isn't going to not follow up on its treaties. What do? You build a nuclear weapon.
Okay, that's fair. Counterpoint. Here is Poland. Nothing has happened yet.
That's not entirely true. There have been some bombs and drones that have landed on their territory.
Well,
Actually, two people got injured because of them.
Well, I'm just saying in general. Nothing has happened yet, right?
Yes.
They're looking this way. They have their back turned. Here's Russia.
No, I would disagree. I would say they are very front forward. They've been the most front forward European country that.
This is just to describe that Poland is not as strong as Russia, right?
Okay, fine. Yes, that's true.
So Poland has a power of like 10, and then Russia has like fucking power of like 200.
Belarus is in between Poland and Russia too. That's something to matter because that actually adds a third party. Well, party controlled by Russia.
Okay, he gets a clown nose because Belarus is a fucking clown.
True.
All right. Anyways, Poland's sitting there and they're like, "Listen, your power level is bigger than mine, right? So instead of being like, hey, we have a weapon of mass destruction," instead they said, "We don't have one. Not only do we not have one, we're trying to build one." So what that says to Russia is, "Oh, you're weaker than me. That's right. Not only are you weaker than me, you're trying to get a weapon that could potentially take me out. I think Ukraine's not the only one on the chopping block here." This is stupid.
Again, you might be right in the sense that Putin's gonna look at this and be like, "Oh shit, it's fucking go time." You're not wrong. However, Europe has already.
If he lets them do this, they're all gonna think they can do it, right?
Yeah, that's what the rhetoric is, right? Right. France is the only one who's independently control their own nukes, and France recently came out and said, "Hey, we can provide that umbrella for everybody. We can give everyone that's not everybody, but European that umbrella, our own nuclear umbrella."
Poland may have actually potentially started World War III again.
I don't know about that, but
for the third time.
The thing is, in the same way that you see from Russia's point of view here, this like, okay, this is a threat we have to worry about. That's how Europe has already viewed Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now we're seeing the fruition of it, but that's how they view it. Is like, okay, we're under threat. We can't just let this slide. So, whatever. It's pointless to go on, like, which came first, chicken or the egg, but you can see everyone in Europe is kind of pissing their pants right now and freaking the fuck out, and...
Yeah, well, listen, if some shit starts going down, Doug, you already know who the fuck to blame. It's fucking Poland.
I like Poland. I'm sorry, I can't blame them.
This is the third time, Poland. You just can't seem to let the world live in fucking harmony. You always gotta say some stupid shit or get your ass fucked by Germany, and then all of a sudden everyone has to go fucking crazy over it. God, you're like an ex-wife that keeps coming back for more. I don't get it.
I like you, Poles. I don't think it's your fault. You're just trying to live. I respect that.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
So, in much lighter news, Skype is shutting down.
Womp womp. No fuck.
You have no fucking like nostalgia for Skype? None?
Goodbye.
Eh, I do. A little bit.
Hey, can someone start the call? Can someone start the call?
Somebody start the call.
Wait, who kicks me out of the call? Who ended the call? Can we start another call? Why is there a separate Skype group? Why'd you guys invite us to the Skype group? Stupidest fucking shit. So glad it's gone.
Oh God, I'm glad it's gone too.
Yeah.
Well, it'll shut down. I think next month or in May or something. May. I think it's in May.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah.
Anything else, Doug?
Let's see. No, I think that's everything. Actually, we actually covered everything. Yeah.
Huh.
Not bad.
It's not too bad. You're right. It's not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, it's pretty hard to keep up with Trump's fucking flurry of bills that he signed. He made English the official language of the U.S. He made this month Women's History Month, I think, or some shit. He started a Bitcoin Federal Reserve, or not Federal Reserve, sorry, Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously to eventually back the dollar. Burpity derp.
And speaking of Bitcoin, let's take a look.
It actually fell when he announced it. It didn't fell, but you know. What are we at? Wait, what are we at? 96? Is that what it said?
This stuff I have 50 of, so I made like $100 essentially. I didn't do anything. All I did was press a button.
Yeah. God bless.
Yeah. But
dude, I invested in this. So you know all this talk about nuclear stuff, right? There's this stock. Yeah. There's this company that makes modular mini nuclear reactors called fuck, I forget what they're called. Look up SMR stock. I invested in them. They're a startup, and they're the only ones with this technology. NuScale is what they're called. Dude, I'm all in on this. I am all in on this. One of the
I think that's a mistake to invest in them.
No, it's good.
So you remember what happened the last time that a guy tried to make like a incredibly fuel efficient car?
Yeah, dude. Here's the thing. The reason we haven't utilized nuclear technology
is because they keep getting killed. They keep killing the people who keep making them.
No, I mean maybe that's why, but that's not the true motive as to what's going on. For the same thing we just talked about, in which the world doesn't want everyone having nuclear weapons for that reason of boom booms. We've kind of delayed the use of nuclear technology. However, it's very clear that now no longer can be stopped, and so the U.S. is now really looking at utilizing nuclear technology. And this company this company makes small nuclear reactors. Not only that, but AI and data banks use up so much energy now that you cannot fuel them with natural gas and oil. It's impossible. You literally can't. You definitely can't do it with coal. You have to use nuclear. There's no other path right now other than nuclear fission. Yeah. Eventually fusion, but I can't tell. We're in a race right now.
The refueling cycle is literally 2 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm all in on this bitch.
Yeah, I mean, with the fuel enriched at less than 5%, you get 2 years. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. But yeah, you want to have 700 tons ordered to your home? Dude, imagine having to hire the team to dig out the trench necessary for this fucking thing, dude.
Well, it's not meant to go to a home per se. It's meant to power.
It's not, but imagine being the guy who was trying to move out into the woods, right? And he's like, I want one of these things. How big does the hole need to be? all of a sudden, you just see a fucking deer hunter. You're like, oh, I love deer hunting. It's my favorite thing to do in the world. Oh shit, there it is right now. I'm gonna get it. Oh, you just see the deer, and he just disappears. Like, what the fuck? And you like you go over to the spot where it went, and you're like looking around, like with the gun strapped to your back, and you're like, where the fuck did it go? And then you see the giant fucking hole.
Yeah. I
Imagine how that probably feels. So,
I suspect within 2 years here, you see a huge. I mean, not only in general are we moving towards nuclear energy, but also, again, there is so much push for nuclear weapons right now.
yeah.
So, boom, boom time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and with
then,
energy, with companies like this, where this is not technically a startup, but they are. This is fun. By the way, this is funded by the government. They started out as a government.
I feel bad for the guy they killed and stole the idea off.
True. This started out as an in-house for the government, and they were released on the private commercial market.
Huh.
Yeah.
They
So
got the money somehow.
Yeah, well, I assume the U.S. just gave him the clearance. So what usually happens is when you have some technology like this that's new and high tech, you go to the government, you say, "Hey, I have this bitch. Do you want to buy it?" And then sometimes the government says yes, sometimes they say no. Either way, you can then ask, "Well, I want to sell it on the commercial market, the U.S. commercial market," and then they give clearance on it, right? And then you can go a step further and sell it on the foreign market. That's not getting sold on the foreign market, I assure you that much. But yeah. Oh. Hell yeah.
Marketplace.
Yeah. We'll install this in your backyard.
Well, yeah, exactly. No, it's got to be crazy though, right? Like, what is the maintenance like on this kind of thing?
I have no idea. I mean, I guess I should have done more research.
They're just like, here's the user manual. Make sure you don't like. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, just read the manual. It'll tell you everything you need to know. They just don't read the manual and just start fucking pressing a bunch of shit and cause an extra noble.
So I think, like, from what I know, both Microsoft and Amazon and all the big AI giants, they're actually looking into opening up nuclear energy for their own data banks. Because again, AI uses 6 times more energy than your average Google search. So when you do an AI search, it's 6 times more. Now, imagine that, but most of the stuff that is going to have AI, like your computer and your phone, it'll be on all the time eventually. And by eventually, I mean within 2 years. It'll be on all the time. It's not, it'll never be off. So you just imagine a Google search running, 6 times more energy all the time. That's obviously going to take a lot. So you have the big boys, and by big boys, I mean literally Microsoft is restarting 3 Mile Island to fuel their shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it'll start like that, and then eventually, you're going to have a lot of AI stuff in your home that's going to be really energy intensive. This is something, again, this isn't for one home. This will fuel 20 to 40,000 homes, so this will take the place of, yeah. Anyways,
Based.
yeah, I'm all in on this company. There's like 2 others that I pay attention to that are not in the fucking market yet, and it pisses me off.
Well, it seems to me like you should be investing in. Oh, never mind. It's pretty good, actually. Quarterly financials. The income is down, but they'll get a government payout.
Yeah, again, the government feels this. They're not gonna. They can't let this technology fail. They need this technology. It's like Uber. They wanted Uber to succeed. Uber was losing money for like 10 years. Twitch technically loses money. There's just certain things that the government or corporations know that is going to be good, and they refuse to let it fail. This is one of those things.
Based. Good job, government. You did something. Actually, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to hold off on that.
Yeah. So I suspect we'll see a lot of nuclear technologies kind of just pop up all over the place within these next 2 to 5 years, and I think it'll be kind of crazy.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting. I just hope we give more money to Israel.
Yeah, I think so too. Any money we make goes to Israel.
Straight to Israel.
Straight to Israel. Just give it to them. This company, just sell it to Israel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad we got that taken care of.
Every episode sponsored by random stuff we pull out of our drawers and then give the money to Israel.
Yeah, give the money to Israel. All of it.
All right. Remember, everybody, give all your money to Israel. God bless.